Hello, welcome to this CREST webinar. I'm Caitlin Brown, CREST Products Manager at the British Science Association, and I'm joined today by my colleague Jane Dowden, the Education Innovations Manager at the BSA. We'll be in the comments at the end if you have any questions about this webinar. So today we're going to be talking through how the CREST Awards can support with UCAS applications and also job applications. As it's the summer at the moment, obviously it's a really good time to start boosting your application. So that's something that you can really start thinking about, and hopefully this video will help you work through that. So do you want to just outline which levels we'll be talking about and kind of why they're more relevant?
Sure. So I think the levels that are particularly relevant here are bronze, silver and gold. And the reason for that is that they focus on students coming up with their own project idea. So they will decide on what particular area interests them, what subject interests them. They will come up with a question or an aim for their project, something to solve, a problem to solve, or a question to answer. And they will design how they're going to do that project, so their approach to it, and then deliver it with some support from either a parent or another adult at home or a teacher. And these start off as a 10-hour project at bronze level, so you could do that over a couple of days, over the holidays, working quite intensively, or spread it out over a number of weeks, doing 1 hour or so a day, all the way up to, so silver is 30 hours, so that's a couple of weeks' work, and gold is 70 hours. So normally a gold project would take a number of months, but you could do that intensively over the summer holiday if there was a subject that particularly interested you and a project that you really wanted to carry out, linked to maybe a subject that you're applying for to further study or to a job that you want to go into.
So let's start with UCAS applications. Obviously you've spoken to people in the past about how CREST can be used to bolster UCAS applications. So could you just outline kind of what you think the main selling points are for CREST? And also actually it's worth pointing out that CREST Awards, while recognised by UCAS and being great for UCAS applications, don't obviously count for points on UCAS applications.
Yes, that's right. So the advantage of having a project to talk about in your statement isn't to add qualifications. It's really to add evidence of your interest and passion for a particular subject or career sector, or just to show that you have an interest, enough motivation to complete an independent project, and the skills that come with that. So it's to both demonstrate your passion and demonstrate your skills. And this can add lots on top of the qualifications that you're already working towards. And that's really, really important when it comes to a UCAS statement, because this has got to make you stand out against other students who have similar grade predictions or actual outcomes, the ones that you have. And the idea of the statement is that it really shows something about you and your passions and your interests. So some of the skills that you might be demonstrating through that is being able to deliver your own project, so project management skills. These include problem solving, communication, time planning, teamwork skills, really, really important skills to be able to demonstrate, which are quite difficult to demonstrate just with academic qualifications. It shows that you've done something yourself, so self-directed learning, you're able to self-motivate, and maybe do your own research as well, so go beyond the curriculum to find out more and study something. And we know from feedback from professionals working in universities that this is a really valuable thing that you can add to your personal statements, regardless of whether it adds points to them.
Great, that all makes sense. Thanks, Jane. So if you had 3 top tips for someone using CREST on their UCAS application, what would they be?
So firstly, demonstrating how it links to the subject that you want to study. So hopefully it's going to support your application to show that you're genuinely interested in that subject and understand what it involves. Secondly, that you really draw out the skills that project has helped you to develop. So for instance, problem solving, independent learning and communication skills. So really mentioning those and showing how the project helped you develop them. And then finally, just showing that you have passion for a subject that goes far enough to motivate you to continue doing extra study and going beyond the academic study that you're doing at school.
So a lot of this is obviously relevant to job or maybe apprenticeship applications. How would you say CREST can be used in either of those?
In a job application or an apprenticeship application, the skills tend to be the most important thing to focus on. And that can be really hard to demonstrate if it's the first job that you've applied for and you don't have much work experience. So a CREST project is a great example of where you can use that to demonstrate things like teamwork and independent learning, communication skills, research and planning skills, and use your CREST project as an example under each of those skills. And it's slightly different to apply a UCAS application where you want to focus on your interest in the subject, but also your passion for a particular subject and your willingness to study beyond the curriculum is also going to be valuable in any application.
And obviously some CREST accredited schemes actually provide work experience, and then you're also gaining a recognised award at the same time. So these also include, for example, Ogden Trust placements or Nuffield Research placements.
Absolutely, and work experience is really valuable for both UCAS statements and for an application for employment or an apprenticeship. But you might find that in recent months you've missed out on the chance to do work experience that you were hoping to get. And so actually doing a CREST project, it can't replace the work experience, but it can certainly help to fill some of the gaps that you might find when you're applying, putting in your application that you might have used work experience to support. So for example, demonstrating your passion, your knowledge of a particular career area, and the skills that you might have developed while you were on that placement. And if you get the chance to maybe interview, even if it's just by sending an email and getting some questions to somebody who works in that field and they can feed back to you, then that can give you a really valuable step ahead of other students, particularly in a time when work experience might have not been possible in recent months.
And there's actually lots of other ways that you can make the most of your CREST award. And actually there's a section called Making the Most of CREST in the Help Centre section of our website. And it outlines the different ways that you can use your CREST award for lots of different things. For example, you can actually use your CREST award for the skills section of your Duke of Edinburgh's application. And you can use the link below to actually see CREST listed on the list of things that you can use for the skills section.
So we're ready to answer your questions. If you want to put them in the comments, then we will respond to them.
Thanks for listening to this CREST webinar.